Hey everybody, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to join Jennifer and I here to talk about F&G. I'm super excited to have Jennifer on. It's been a while since we have done a webinar together. Jennifer, are you able to hear me okay? Not sure if I took myself out of mute.
Yes, I can. You're good.
Okay, good, good. I see a couple people still coming in, and I'm sure we're going to have people coming in and out, but I am going to go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, I do have Jennifer Howe here with me. She is a senior internal wholesaler and someone who I love to talk to anytime I'm on the phone or need anything for F&G. F&G is such a well-known carrier. Um, Great rating, of course. And so the best part about working with F&G is getting to work with Jennifer. So really happy and thankful to have her here today. But before I pass over the mic, I'm just going to go over a little bit of housekeeping. This is mainly for people that have been with Dimes for a while that kind of just need a refresher on all of the things that we have here to offer at IMS. And it's really also for the newcomers that are a little bit newer to IMS but may not necessarily know about all of the things that we have here to offer because I've been here with IMS for almost 3 years now. And the level of service, the things we have to offer never cease to amaze me. There's just so much. And, every day I'm constantly learning something new. I'm an annuity sales director, but you certainly don't know what you don't know. And so it's a constant learning environment because we have so many tools and resources. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. We have our new producer builders here. This is for our newcomers and you have 180 days to meet these different tiers. So you'll see about 5 of them. It starts at the $100,000 level of FIA premium. Now, there is a life insurance equivalent. You would have to talk with one of our life marketers because I don't know that side of the business, but on the annuity side here, we're talking about $100,000 of FIA premium all the way up to the $1 million level. And so I've seen agents do this many times. I've seen agents do it on one case. I've seen agents do it on multiple cases. So there's really no glass ceiling to what you can accomplish at IAMS, especially within your first 180 days when you know you have all of these incentives right here waiting for you. So at the $100,000 level, you have mailings that you can do, iPad, $750 cash, all the way up to the 250,000 to the $750,000 level. I love that to be the nice average for a lot of my agents because we honestly do not win unless you're winning. So from the $250,000 level to the $750,000 level, that's a good range to be in. And of course, we want to keep seeing more, but if that's your average case size, that's a pretty solid place to be, I'd say, especially if you're doing it consistently. And a lot of that happens through your marketing. So a lot of our agents already pretty much have marketing when they come to us, or sometimes they don't, and that's heavily why they will come over to us. And so as you can see, these are some ideas and some suggestions of what we have. I don't want you to be limited by what you see on the screen. But along with these being suggestions, again, these are incentives. So in that middle tier range, you see anything from Retirement Boss Radio, a Ritz Carlton stay, to Social Security Navigator seminars. Uh, that's everything that you have as an incentives just for being in that nice middle tier. And then once you hit the $1 million level, some of the incentives that we include are 8 to 10 preset annuity appointments, 3 seminars, and then we have lots of different other things that we offer. So like I said, if you already have marketing that you are coming with, we don't want to break anything, or we don't want to fix what ain't broken, right? So if you have something that's working, don't be afraid to tell us. We're not here to change the game. We're just here to enhance it. Once you graduate from the $180 or 180 days, you do graduate into our new producer or our referred producer program and our marketing reimbursement program. So this will help you increase capital while you are here at IMES, and this lasts for the lifetime of you being here at IMES. We've been around for 40 years now. We have some of those same agents that still work with us for the last 40 years. And we have plenty of people that they've referred over. And so every time they've referred someone over, they've gotten a $50 one-time bonus from us. They didn't receive that from their colleagues and referrals commissions or overrides or anything. They got that straight from IMES. Those are Steve's and Charles' favorite checks to sign. And the nice part is it didn't just stop there. It didn't just stop at a one-time $50 check. It also really kicked off with the thank you. I call it the thank you bonus that we give out. And so we give that out on a quarterly basis. And so every time the people that you refer over are doing life target premium, single premium life, MIGA business, indexed annuity business like F&G, for example, you're getting a nice quarterly bonus. And so where does that bonus come from? Again, that doesn't come from overrides from the carrier. It actually, again, comes from IMES. So really, really great way to increase capital there, especially if you have other friends that are in the business, if you have spouses. I have a good handful of husband wife. I've seen father son many times here at IMES. Lots of different things. I mean, we all have friends, right? We also have our marketing reimbursement program where for every $100,000 of FIA premium you're doing, you get $100 back into your marketing dollars account. So that's huge, especially if you're doing a good volume of business here. If you're doing millions and millions of dollars, that can result into thousands and thousands right back into your pocket for marketing reimbursement. So definitely make use of that, especially if you're already doing FIA business. We also have life insurance reimbursement. So anytime you're doing any single premium life, about $100,000 worth of that premium, you get $200 back. And then on life target premiums like whole life, term life, for every $10,000 that you're doing, you get $200 back. So really great incentives there. Absolutely love that, especially because marketing can sometimes be really expensive, especially if you're not quite seeing the results that you want yet. But I can definitely let you know, just from seeing it firsthand, the agents that I have that are investing into marketing, whether that be digital marketing, leads, seminars, whatever it may be, they are getting a good chunk of their money back just through the business that they're writing. So really, really great opportunity there. And we do have back office support. My favorite part about our back office is the people here. Um, you know, software I think is great, but at the end of the day, we're all still picking up the phone and coming into the office every single day. A lot of other places will do remote, and I'm sure that works just as great, but nothing beats coming into an office and knowing that when you call in, you're going to get a live person every single time. You don't get voicemail. You could leave a message. You could ask for someone else on the team to help you out, especially if it's something immediate. So I definitely believe that we do have best in class service here, and we have had that for the last 40 years. So definitely make use of the people that we have here. We've got great departments. We've got a good contracting department. We've got a great new business department on both the life and the annuity side. And then when it comes to your business building tools and resources online, that's all found in one place on the IMES portal. So not only can you access Annuity Rate Watch, some of the long-term care, some of the life quoting stuff too is actually on there, and some underwriting on the IMES portal, but you'll also get to access your e-apps on that. So you don't have to be jumping around carrier to carrier, going direct, managing your cases on your own. And an accent to the back office support, like the people, we're all able to see everything that's going on Firelight all through our IMAS portal. And we do have a dedicated staff for that as well. That's also been super helpful for agents, especially that are just getting off the ground and running and understanding how to navigate through our portal. And for those that have maybe done paper for a really long time and just transitioning, we do, I think, have the best dedicated Firelight staff. So that's a little glimpse into our IMS website. These are some of the EAP platforms that we use: Luma Firelight, iPipeline, Sunfire. Mainly iPipeline and Luma Firelight is what we're going to be talking about. So Luma Firelight is great because not only is it Firelight anymore, but with Luma integrated into it, it makes it much more advanced. I know it might seem like a couple of other steps that you have to take. I mean, at first I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but now seeing everything that it's evolved into, it's absolutely amazing. I've been able to run reports for some of the agents that have been here for a while and be able to let them know that there is low hanging fruit. There's some annuity opportunity. There's some business to write. So that's huge with Luma. Firelight on its own was never able to do that. So with Luma being a big part of that now, there's so much more business to be had. There's a lot of low hanging fruit that we may not know about. And we do have great carriers that are also replacement friendly to be able to look into some other options if you're doing policy reviews, and those clients may not necessarily be the happiest with what their current performance is at. So, yeah, we have tons of opportunity. We found a lot of opportunity just with Luma alone. iPipeline, of course, know and love iPipeline, good for quoting, but also good for running business on the life insurance side. And these are some of our creative services. So I feel like this slide has, yes, everything, but until you actually meet the creative team and see all that they can do and see how talented they are, um, this will never do it justice unless you start to work with them. So the digital solutions, for example, I've had tons of websites made for my agents, and they've done a phenomenal job. Ryan Ogle specializes in search engine optimization and website design and maintenance. That's huge. So if you write your first $250,000 case with us, you actually get this website for free. So you might already have a website, you might not. A lot of agents that I actually work with, right when they're doing their first case with me, what I find is that they already have a website. It just needs a little spruced up. And so Ryan's really good at that. I've got beautiful websites for my agents. So highly suggest that. They also do agency solutions like logo design if you need help with that. If you just want to do a rebranding, and then turnkey solutions like handouts, brochures, especially if you're doing seminars, having something that is brand recognizable, I think is huge. So definitely get a hold of them if you haven't already. If you are an agent that maybe has the personal production all together, you know that there's thousands of moving parts of this business. There's so many different moving pieces. It's really hard to be a master at everything here. And so having the best support is huge. And so a lot of agents that do really well in personal production may not have some of their marketing all together. They find that they do need help. We actually do a complimentary marketing analysis, and we have CJ now. CJ has been a huge blessing to IMS, I think. Absolutely love CJ. He is our marketing implementation specialist. And just like the life marketers know life like the back of their hands, annuity marketers know annuities like the back of their hands, CJ knows marketing like the back of his hands. He could tell you about any vendor, he can tell you about different things that can help you strengthen your brand, explore new marketing opportunities, you name it. So he is very knowledgeable. This morning, I sent him an email because I had an agent that was looking for annuity leads. So I just shot him an email and I said, CJ, what's hot right now? Within 10 minutes, he responded back to me with maybe like five, six different options. So Definitely very grateful to have him here. And if you haven't done a marketing analysis or your results aren't quite where you're at, where you're wanting to be at for where we are in the year, certainly look into marketing. I think it really does all start there. Our Imes Wealth Management team, now they're right down the street from us. Very, very great partner that we have on the Imes Wealth Management side. So, of course, like AUM, this is for securities registered reps. And what they do, they have all of the same values that we have here: best in class service, highly collaborative, and very customizable. It's definitely not a one size fits all for your business. And so, they have those same core values, but what they aim to do and their highest intentions include increasing revenue for you on the AUM side, improving client retention because we know how saturated this industry is, and then just strengthening your relationships. So I've certainly seen them work with some of my agents, and they do a terrific job on that end. They're also some of the most humble people I've ever met, but very, very smart, very sharp. So if you are a securities registered rep and if you do AUM, certainly feel free to connect with them. Our Life and Annuity Academy, so our Life and Annuity Academy, we have, I think, 4 or 5 going on this year. This is some of the best time that we have to actually meet the agents in person. It's one of the only times I get to meet you in person. And at these events, what I do want to say is these aren't annuity and life 101s. This is not for the person that is just learning about annuities. This is for someone that's really trying to aggressively scale their practice. And why I say that is because we go over lots of different marketing tactics, like not this next one, but the one after that. We're actually just going to be talking about seminars and seminar best practices. We have another one I know that's going to be all female. So there's lots of different niches to go into this year. I think we're doing things a little bit differently by having these types of niches, but these are heavily for people that are doing 2 million and over, that are really heavily trying to take that 2 million and turn it into 8 million. And I've certainly seen that possible. So if you haven't been out to a Life and Annuity Academy, I certainly suggest that. With that, I'm actually going to launch a quick poll here. So if you'll take the time to vote, go ahead and vote. Would you like an invitation to our Life and Annuity Academy? Thank you guys so much for voting. I'm getting a nice blend here. Some of the people on here I know have already been to a Life and Annuity Academy. And so, um, really great opportunity again. And, like I said, we're doing things a little bit different this year. Like we've got that seminar academy, we've got the female academy. So really cool things. We even, for the last few years, have had an IUL academy. So definitely get with your marketer, let them know that you want to come out. Thank you guys for voting. I'm going to close that up now and jump right back into it. Oh, and these are some of our incentive trips. Didn't realize I put this one up, but our this incentive trip is with Silac. Now, this one is actually about to come to a close on our qualification period. We're literally just a couple days away here, but very proud of our agents that have qualified for this event already. And then this one is to the Bahamas here. Now the qualification period for this ends at the end of the year here. So you have all year. I mean, we're about to go into May. So we've got maybe 7 full months to still qualify for this. So really, really great opportunity here. At times we'll have double trip credit points. At the moment, we don't have double trip credit points, but certainly keep an eye out for all of the updates that we have because you never know. You never know when they're going to decide to do double trip credit points again. But you do need 6 million points to qualify. We've already had some people qualify. Super proud and excited for them and appreciate their business and the partnership. And so we look forward to seeing all of you guys at the Bahamas. We would love to have you there. So definitely get with your marketer, see what it takes to qualify, see where you're at in production. That way we could count. And so everything counts here. All of your life insurance, all of your med subs, all of your annuity business, every single thing counts. So definitely ask us where you're at on this list. And so that comes to a close for me. These are our social medias that we have: Facebook, LinkedIn. Feel free to give us a follow. That way you could stay up to date with what's going on at IAMS. And before I hand over the mic, I did want to touch on something else before I get this over to Jennifer. And that's about seminars. So, like I had mentioned, we're doing things a little bit different with our Life and Annuity Academy this year. We are doing a seminar specific type of academy. So if you already do seminars, if you're curious about doing seminars and really just enhancing your practice, if you're interested in taking your practice from 2 million to 8 million, I've certainly seen that happen through seminars. I've got an agent that's maybe doing 40 seminars, and I've seen him go from 2 million to 8 million and then to 10 million, 15 million. So seminars, I think, are still certainly the best way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll. Do you host seminars? So go ahead and vote really quick, and I'll close that up and give it over to Jennifer. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for taking the time to vote. I'm going to go ahead and close up this poll now. And then Jennifer, I will give you the mic here.
Perfect. Thank you. Can you see my screen cap?
Yep, yep. F&G, annuities in life.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm. No
So
problem.
first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Howe. I am one of the senior internal wholesalers here at F&G. I have been here with F&G a little over 3 years now. Been in the industry for 20 years, so definitely not new to the industry. So today, what I want to go ahead and talk about is some of the accumulation products that we offer here, and we are big on accumulation. So the two products we're going to discuss today are going to be Accumulator Plus and Power Accumulator. So you might be asking yourself, why am I looking at this screen with Nebraska Furniture Mart? So if you're not familiar with this furniture store, I wasn't either. I'm located down here in Texas and we don't have this. But the Nebraska Furniture Mart is a furniture store that carries all different types of furniture, just like F&G carries all different types of annuities. So on this screen, what you're looking at is two different chairs, and you're probably wondering why. So if you look at the left chair, that's going to be something more traditional. And then on the right-hand side, that's going to be more modern. And how you enlist a professional to design your space, we want you to enlist F&G to help design your accumulation play annuities for your clients. So what you'll see here is for the more traditional, we have our accumulator plus 10, and then our more modern is going to be our power accumulator. So let's take a little bit deeper dive into the Accumulator Plus. And why we like to say this is more traditional is this product was actually launched in 2011. The crediting methods that you'll see for this are going to be like the Barclays, the Goldman Sachs, S&P 500. And within the last year and a half, we added the Morgan Stanley onto this product. You're going to have caps, par rates, and declared rates on gains. You may be thinking, what is the declared rate on gains? More likely you're going to hear it as a trigger performance. You've got US and international exposure with volatility control and consistent returns. This product does offer a 7 and 10-year option, or version, I should say. The minimum premium on this product is going to be $10,000. It does issue up to age 85. So if you do have older clients, this is probably going to be, they're looking for accumulation, or, maybe we don't have something that they're looking for, but they are older. We might, take a look at this product. So our street comps that we're going to look at is for our 7-year, it's going to start out at 5.75, and our 10-year at 7.5%. Right now, we are running 50 basis point comps on our accumulation play products. So if you log in and you're a street level agent, these are the comps that you are going to see. In between them, you also have guaranteed minimum 100% par rate. So what that means is some of the indexing options that are available, that participation rate is guaranteed to never go below 100% for the life of the contract. Now, I've been in the industry for quite a while. Usually you'll see guaranteed minimums, 40, 50%. So to have products that are guaranteed 100% participation rate, that is huge in the industry. This product does have 3 built-in riders, so there's no extra cost to your clients. It's full 100% access to the account value. You have home health care, nursing home care, and terminal illness. So those are built into the product. Then we have our power accumulator. I'm very biased. I love the power accumulator. This product was actually launched in 2019, and we have a partnership with BlackRock on it. So the crediting methods, the iShares, Balance Asset 5 and 10, Morgan Stanley, and of course we have the BlackRock as one of the indexing options. All participation rates. So again, you have US and international exposure with those volatility controls. Another product that has a 7 and 10-year version available. You'll see minimum premium 10,000, issues up to age 85. Street comps are going to be the same. Again, we have that 100% participation rate as the guaranteed minimum. And then you have that 100% access to the account value. So basically what we've done is we took the Accumulator Plus that was launched in 2011, and we made a more modern version of it in 2019, where we added different indexing options to it with the iShares, the BlackRock, and the Balance Asset 5 and 10. And Kat, I will send over this iShare link to you, so you don't have to write it down. I'll send over a follow-up email to Kat. That way she has it. So if you want to take a tour of the iShares and the EFTs, you'll have that available to you.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yes. So with BlackRock, so BlackRock is one of the largest global asset managers with over 10 trillion with assets under management. And F&G is the first carrier to offer an FIA featuring the iShares as a primary crediting indexing strategy. That iShares option is going to be on the power accumulator only. And the iShares brand is a market leader in the EFT space. So hold up, we're going to wait. And let's look at what else we have to offer. So you may be wondering, what is an ETF? So it stands for the Exchange Trade Fund. So these are funds that trade on exchanges, generally tracking a specific index. And when you invest in an EFT, you get a bundle of assets you can buy and sell during market hours, lowering your risk and exposure. And then you may be asking yourself, what's the difference between an EFT and stocks? So your stocks are going to represent a piece of ownership in a publicly traded company. But the EFTs are a bundle of assets and securities, such as different stocks and bonds. And then a single EFT can contain dozens or hundreds of stocks or bonds or almost anything else considered as an investable assets. And the EFTs are more diversified than the stocks. So they tend to have a lower risk level than stocks. Assets in EFT ETFs increased more than fivefold from 2010 to more than 6 trillion by the end of 2022. And then the last thing, so the EFTs are only as an investment vehicle. Think about them like the wrapper to the underlying investment. So you have your volatility control indexes. They're bundled into different stocks to monitor the performance. And then they maintain a threshold of volatility. So with the accumulator plus and the power accumulator, so we did talk about the crediting methods on the accumulator plus. You have Barclays, Goldman Sachs, and the S&P. With the power accumulator, iShares, Balance Asset 5, both of them do have Morgan Stanley. And of course, the power accumulator has the BlackRock. So with the accumulator plus, so you have the Barclays Trailblazer Sector 5, the Goldman Sachs Global Index Factor. So let's take a look at the Barclays. So you have the US based multi-asset index. So it's a portfolio is a mix of EFTs. It's based on modern portfolio theory. It does have a 5% volatility control, excess return. It was actually launched on July 5th of 2016. And it's added to our product within that same year that it was launched. So that's a big benefit to F&G. And then we added the Goldman Sachs Global Factor Index. So this has asset allocation based on risk, and your factor investing, you're going to have some exposure to global stocks and rates. The stocks are picked based on equity factors, so like low beta, value momentum, quality. Once again, we have that 5% volatility control with the excess return. So what you're going to see with volatility is you're not going to see as big of returns as you would if you went straight into the S&P 500, but you're not going to see the big ups and downs that you experience in the S&P either. So it's going to be more consistent. So what I like to say, if you have somebody who's very conservative, a volatility option might be the route to go for that client. That Goldman Sachs was actually launched May 12th of 2021. We've actually recently added it, not just to this product. We have a couple other products that have it available as well. And then when it comes to the power accumulator, this is the iShares that is, backed by BlackRock. And so what you're going to see on this one with the iShares, we have the core S&P 500, the MSCI EFA, we have the real estate and the gold trust. And then when you go to the balance asset 5 and 10, you still have a combination of the S&P 500 and then the 20-year treasury bond. So when we look at the iShares with the ETFs, this is one that I like to use a lot, especially when it comes to gold. So I like to, when I'm running an illustration, put some in the S&P 500 and in that gold trust. So in the past, I guess starting 2024, gold has really come around, and you're not going to see very many carriers who offer gold as one of their indexing strategies. So that does have us stand apart from a lot of carriers. And, doing some research, now it's not always 100% true, but we've seen that when gold's up, the S&P is down and vice versa. but lately they've been running along the same track. So I do like to throw some into the gold. And I personally met with my financial advisor a few weeks ago. And the first thing I said to him was, what do you have to offer me for gold? I said, I want to put some of my funds in, move them into a gold index. And I did. So I'll definitely be able to see come in a year what that looks like. And so what one thing that I'm really big on is diversification. And this is a chart that we use to just show some historical performances that every year, or not one year, has a certain index done better than the other. So when we talk about diversification, we want to give your clients more options to eliminate zeros in their returns. So you might see that in the past few years, that iShares Gold has really stood out. So I mean, look in 2025, a 63.95% return. That is huge. Just just amazing. When I saw this chart, I was like, wow. Definitely help put more perspective, and even having me put some of my funds into a gold index through my personal accounts. So what I always suggest, so if an agent reaches out to me and says, hey, we want to put 100% in this option, and I like to sit down with them and just talk and say, hey, let's help your clients have a better option of eliminating those zeros within their index, within their policies. Let's look at this chart. Let's run some illustrations. Let's see what, some of the options that they have available. So diversification is definitely a huge factor. So if you reach out to me, we're definitely going to talk about that, because I want to help you help your clients eliminate, as many zeros as possible. And then just to the right, that's the index key, just to kind of show you, which each one stands for. But as a reminder, not this is just showing you that no one year did a certain index do better than the other. They've all had their fair share of great returns.
Jennifer, I love that index key. Is that an F&G piece, or is that something you
It is,
pulled?
yes. Yes.
Oh,
So
nice.
this is a piece that we put out, and we just actually recently updated. So when I send over some follow-up information to you, Kat, I'll send this over to you as well. There's more, there's some pie charts that are available on it. I didn't put those into this. Really, because this gives you the huge, the big overall picture where it talks about, diversification. So yeah, I'll definitely add that to it. It's, for our financial professionals, they can look at it. And then they have an idea when they're talking about diversification to, to their clients, what, what they can kind of, spread out the funds in the indexing.
Certainly. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes. So once again, we have our accumulator plus. That's going to be your traditional version with the traditional chair. And then our power accumulator, which is going to be our more modern version. There are certain things, literally the same product. We have just updated the power accumulator with newer indexing options. So one of the programs that we offer here at F&G is called our Power Producer Compensation Plan. And we actually just made some updates to this, which we are, definitely excited about. You'll see that the program runs from January 1st to December 31st. These quarterly payments are applied retroactively, dollar for dollar. We like to make the payments, at the end of the month, April, July, October, and then January the following year. This is going to be based on all FIA premium. You will notice, I know there's not very many of our agents that sell in New York, but New York and the MIGA are not available. This is not for the IULs. This is going to be annuity um, annuities only. This is something you as the advisor don't have to worry about. F&G handles this, and what would happen if you hit any of these production levels. We have another senior internal wholesaler who would reach out to you, congratulate you, and let you know that a check is being cut. You're going to see that check within, depending on the bank, once we make the cut of those checks. So that's all done internally. You as the advisor do not have to do anything on your end when it comes to this. But this is a huge program. Our agents love this power producer compensation plan that we do offer. Kat, have any questions popped up regarding any of these products?
Yeah, it looks like we actually have a couple, so I'm gonna go
Okay.
ahead and share them here. So
Okay.
thank you, Thomas, for your question. So the first one is, so if the power accumulator has the BlackRock ETFs, iShares, why would anyone choose Accumulator Plus?
It's all okay. So I'll explain this to you. When I first started with F&G, I came across agents and clients who didn't like BlackRock. So that was something that they're like, nope, don't want BlackRock. I'm like, hey, you don't have to use that indexing option. Nope, I don't want a product that even is affiliated with them. So that's what they went with. The majority of the time, the agents do go with the with the power accumulator, but it's all about familiarity.
Mhm.
Some agents have always sold accumulator plus. That's what they know, and that's what they stick with. They know those indexing options, um, and that's what they feel familiar with. So yeah. But I mean, if you reach out to me, I'm going to go with power accumulator just because of those iShare options. I'm a huge fan of those iShare options.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the beginning of the presentation when um, you had talked about Nebraska furniture, right? So it's like
Yeah.
having multiple types of furniture where it's not a one size fits all. Like Jennifer might like something that I don't like, and I might like something that Jennifer doesn't like. So what I do like about F&G is the fact that there's different options for people that like different things, different preferences, you know? So that's pretty good. Um, and then Thomas also asked, what do you mean by partnership with BlackRock just for an index? And so I'm assuming yes, just for the index, right,
Correct.
Jennifer? Yep. Yeah,
Correct. Yes. Mhm.
perfect. And I've got one more question here so far, and this is Stanley. So Stanley, thank you for asking your question. He asked, what are the caps on the iShares and the gold?
I will have to. What I'll do is I don't know those off the top of my head because we do have quite a few indexing options, and we actually just had a rate increase the the week before the last week of March. So off the top of my head, I don't know. I will include those into my follow up with to Cat because um I don't want to quote the wrong thing. So I do apologize. I did not. Normally I put those in the presentation, but they're so small to read and it's straining on my eyes, so I can imagine what it does to anybody else's eyes.
You've also had a lot of rate increases in the last couple quarters here, though,
Oh
because
my god.
honestly,
Yeah.
you guys have had more rate increases than decreases. I've only seen one decrease, I think from you guys, and that was on the safe income advantage. Is that right?
No, that one what we
Oh no,
increased. Yeah.
increase.
No,
Was there even a
we had a
decrease
bunch
then?
of increases and every
Yeah.
time we turn around, There's another increase. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
could hardly keep up.
yeah, the rates are popping over here. So definitely a good thing. Yes.
For sure, for sure. And this, um, okay, I've got another question here. When is IAMS and F&G scheduling a webinar about F&G Safe Income Advantage? Well, that's
Cat.
really just for us to plan. So it looks like
Yeah.
we've got a suggestion. So
Yeah.
I'll get with Jennifer and we'll certainly schedule a Safe Income Advantage webinar sometime in the near future, Thomas, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. More than happy to jump on, Kat, to to do that. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. She's always so willing, and this is what makes working with F&G so good. Again, at the end of the day, it is really the people that I think make both an IMO and a carrier. And
Yeah.
so, there's no perfect carrier, there's no perfect IMO, but at the end of the day, we're not perfect people either, but
Yeah.
Jennifer's pretty darn close.
I try.
Alrighty. Well, Jennifer, did you mention that 50 basis point special yet?
Yeah, so in the when I was talking showing the comps, that is built into the accumulation play products, Power Accumulator and Accumulator Plus. So if you do log in to your sales link the F&G website, and you go to your compensation schedule, all of those comps that are listed there include the 50 basis point comp special that we are running on the accumulation play products. At this time, we have not stated an end date to that. So just keep on selling. We'll give out a notification when that is going to end. But as of right now, we have not made any dates on when that will end. So yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
the base comp um on the 7 year straight, of course, it's going to break down by the age of how the client is. But starting off 0 to 75, we're going to see on the 7 year 5.75. On the 10 year, it's 7.5%. That's going to be for both the power accumulator and the accumulator plus.
Nice. So, and I saw that the street comp on that on the 10-year anyway was 7.5. So you're saying they'll get 8%?
No, that 7.5 is built in.
Oh,
So that's
that's with
seven
it.
and a half. So
Gotcha. So it's seven and
yeah,
a half is what they'll get. Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
correct. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
previously it was 7. It is now 7.5%. That includes that 50 basis point. Yes.
Gotcha. So 7.5. Okay, that's
Mhm.
still
Yeah.
really competitive though. That's great. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna launch a quick poll. Did you have any other slides, Jen?
No, they're all disclosures. If somebody wants to read those, just let me know, and I will put them
Okay,
up.
perfect. I don't think we have any takers there, but
Okay. Whew, thank
I
goodness.
know, I know, we dodged a bullet on that one.
Yes.
So while I've got Jennifer here, I'm gonna launch a quick poll, and this is if you're already appointed with FNG, and if not, if you'd like to. So go ahead, take a second to answer. I'll leave that up there for you. Perfect. Thank you guys for taking the time to vote. And so, like Jennifer had mentioned, she'll be sending me a bunch of stuff to send over to you guys while I do my follow up. If you guys have any further questions on F&G, feel free to reach out to us and we can point you in the right direction, whether it's contracting, whether it's case design, whether it's comp information, pretty much anything you name it. We're very lucky to have F&G as a core partner, so certainly feel free to let us know if you have any questions. Other than that, Jennifer, thank you for taking the time to come on and talk to our agents, and we'll be scheduling a Safe Income Advantage webinar sometime soon too.
Yeah, definitely reach out to me